Matthew Lloyd! Nick Davis, a chance from the pocket. Davis kicks a beauty!
Long and strong. Nick Davis is the hope. He's the hope.
Davis has kicked two. He snaps to a 40. Don't tell me. He's kicked a goal. Unbelievable stuff from Nick Davis.
Nick Davis. I don't believe it. I see it, but I don't believe it.
That's it. It's all over. The Swans into a preliminary final. What a game. And the hero is that man, Nick Davis. Unbelievable.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. It is deep dive time, and I'd love to go back in time and reminisce in this segment. And Geelong play Sydney today, and the most famous moment between those two clubs, you have to say, is Nick Bloody Davis,
yes.
Bill.
Yep.
And Nick Bloody Davis has been good enough to join us, Nick. And it's great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. And how often do you get reminded about that famous day where you broke the hearts of Geelong?
Yeah, Lloydie, a fair bit. Obviously, it comes up a lot when the Swans play Geelong, or semi-final week, or birthday, or every other day of the week. So, no, it does get brought up a lot, and it's been a lot more sort of since that night. It was such a good night of footy, and at that stage, it just got us into a prelim final. But as the years have gone on, and I think it was 15 years sort of last week, the amount of people that have come up over the years and said that they were at the ground or they were at the pub or wherever they were, the stories that have come out have been great about
So
it.
I just want to recap this. So Geelong are up by 17 points at three-quarter time.
Here it is.
You'd only kicked 3 goals, the whole team, to three-quarter time. Yep. You only kicked 4 goals as a team in the last quarter, Nick, and you kicked every single one of them to have the Swans win by a few points. You must have felt like you were floating on air in that last quarter. Unstoppable you were.
Yeah, it was good. Look, we was well known that our game style and our style of play at that time of year was to keep it in tight and make it a scrap. And we were nearly 3 goals behind at three-quarter time. And Roosie came out and said, "Oh, look, let's just try and hit the ball on the outside a little bit." And that's sort of where I was. And the ears pricked up, and I got in the right spot 4 times in a row, and I never even thought about what would happen if one was touched or one didn't go through. But luckily they all went through, and the rest is history.
It is indeed. The Cat supporter. I remember the players; they were just devastated. But it probably propelled them into the 07 premiership. So kind of. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Hey, but we do forget you did play at Collingwood. Played 71 games, and you were picked up there with the father-son.
Yeah, I did, and it was a real, it was a privilege and an honour to play for such a big club in the AFL and in Australian sporting landscape. And look, some of these highlights that I've seen, not only myself but of that team, sort of 2001 and 2002 were a pretty exciting team, and a couple of these finals where we went across and beat Port, and then we're probably a bit unlucky not to win in 02, but. To be able to run out on the MCG in front of minimum 50,000 fans every second weekend was something I really enjoyed.
Hey, Nick, what happened at Collingwood? Did you have a falling out there that led you to go to the Sydney Swans?
No, mate, I just... and it's probably a lot more prevalent now. I just sort of was keen to get back to Sydney. It's not that it was not that I thought that the Swans were more chance of winning a premiership than Collingwood. Look, we just sort of got beat in 2002, and if Anthony Rocker's goal got caught a goal, then I might still be in the black and white. But things changed. I got back to Sydney, and I was lucky enough to play in a premiership here.
Nick, we saw the 4 goals, but I think the main thing we think about Nick Davis is just your skill level and being able to kick goals. We're going to show some highlights now of you playing at Sydney, but the current player doesn't have the skill level of some of the players like yourself. Every time you got the ball in your hands, you could almost guarantee it was going to be a goal. 235 goals, 135 behinds. That is good going.
Yeah, mate, look, I'll probably... a couple of things, and people have asked me a little bit about it over the years. That look, I grew up in Sydney, and the AFL when I was growing up wasn't the prime sport at all. So I grew up, and Dad worked in the AFL, obviously from his career down at Collingwood as well. And I always had a bag full of footies, and not many mates that wanted to go and kick the footy. So it was just me, set of rugby league posts and 10 or 15 footies. So I would have just been kicking at goals flat out all the time. So that's maybe where the goal kicking accuracy came from.
Well, Nick, we spoke about your dad there, and we might soon be seeing down the track anyway a third-generation Davis in the big time. Your daughter Jordan, there she is there, showing quite a bit in the academy.
Yeah, Geordie, she loves the AFL, so she's in our Junior Swans Academy, which I'm a coach at. So it's a little bit of an interesting crossover when we have when Dad goes from dad to coach, but. She loves it. It's a really big part of our QBE Swans Academy. The girls, we're starting to get a top end sector of that for the girls next year. And so Geordie plays in the under 14s and the under 12s for a weekend team, and she's only 11. So it's what we all used to do as kids, try and play as much footy as we could on the weekend.
Now, unlike her dad and her grandfather, is she camera shy, or can we entice her to say hello?
I'm not sure where she is. She definitely won't be doing homework, but no, she's a little bit shy for that. But the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She's not the greatest trainer of all time. So.
And Nick, before we let you go, Damien Barrett for the AFL is doing his top 30 final moments over the past 30 years. So, Damo, you're here. Nick is here. Surely it has to be ranked in the top 5. So, Nick, anything you want to say to Damo before he makes his final decision?
Well, unless Damo's a Geelong supporter, it's got to be somewhere in the top 5.
Somewhere in the top 5. Oh, Damo has to be right up there.
Yeah, look, I don't want to give too much away. I think we're doing it Tuesday, big launch, but I think it's safe to say, it's in the top 5. Very, very prominent. Ooh. And so it deserves to be.
Yeah, I agree. And Nick, I know you're doing great things with the Sydney Swans, both the AFL team and the academy. So thanks for joining us today on the Sunday Footy Show.
No worries, boys. Thank you.
On you, Nico.
Good on you, Nick.
He was skillful. You're spot on.
Yeah, exciting.
And it's good. His old man played at 4 clubs, I reckon.
Yeah.